Many of us strive to be healthy, but do we clearly understand what being healthy means? Health can mean different things to different people, but before you can comprehend where your journey will lead you, you must first understand what health is. Ask yourself, what does being healthy mean to me? Welcome to the second episode of the Heal Deal podcast. Last week, I set the stage for this podcast, giving you a general overview of what to expect and how to prepare for your journey to healing. Here's a quick summary. You need to know where you're going, and where you're starting from. You need to know why you want to get there. You need to know how you're going to get there. You need to know what is required of you to get there. And you also need to know who will support you or guide you along this journey. Now, if you missed that episode, make sure you check it out. But today I'll be taking a deep dive into a very important stage in any journey, and that is knowing where. So in healing, of course, you want to know and get clear on your health destination, because if you know your destination before you start, it's so much easier to navigate how to get there. Let me share a quick story of how I tried to purchase a new home about 6 years ago. When I first started house hunting, I was doing it all on my own. I would just go online trying to see what was out there. And out of hundreds of homes that popped up, I would narrow it down to about a dozen homes, jot down the addresses, turn on my GPS, and I would do my drive-bys or go to an open house here and there. Now, this process was very overwhelming. About 6 months of doing this, I still haven't gotten very far. At best, I got a tour of my surrounding neighborhoods. I then decided to hire a real estate agent, and the first question she asked me was, "What type of home are you looking for?" In the back of my mind, I wanted to say, "Isn't it your job to figure that out?" But I didn't, of course. But I did have to seriously think about what I wanted. I know there were many homes out there, but where was my home? So I had to become clear on the type of home that I wanted and where I wanted to be. Here's a list of a few of the things that I desired in my new home. I wanted to be close to my office and my children's school at the time. I wanted at least 4 bedrooms. I wanted to have a separate home office. I wanted to live in a cul-de-sac. I wanted a private backyard with trees and a creek in the back. I didn't want the house to be more than 10 years old. I wanted a finished basement. And most of all, I wanted my home to be move-in ready. Now, those were just some of the things. I had a few more on my list, but they weren't deal breakers. My agent took this information and she found about 5 homes that fit my description in less than 2 weeks. And out of those 5 homes, there was 1 home I put an offer on because it had almost everything I was looking for and more. The point of the story is that once I became clear on the home that I wanted and being honest with where I was at the time and what I can afford. My sons were 5 and 8 at the time. I was going through a divorce. I was also running a business. So I had to make a decision that aligned with my current circumstances. Yes, I saw some very nice $1 million homes and homes with about 10 acres or more. But I knew that financially, emotionally, and physically, that would have been too much to put on an already full plate. So being clear on who I was and where I was at the time was just as important as knowing my destination. My agent wasn't there to do all the work for me. She was my guide, and it was her job to make sure I knew what was required of me and that everything went as smoothly as possible. She was a phenomenal woman, and I am grateful for the knowledge and support that she provided for me at that time. All journeys are similar. They require getting clear on your destination and where you're starting from, which makes everything else in between so much easier. It's unfortunate how I see so many individuals attack their health goals the way I initially started looking for a house. They would go online and see what catches their eye. Oh, weight loss chocolate. This will change my life. Let me add this to my cart. Now, you know I'm being sarcastic, but I hope you get my point. But it's this type of mindset and approach that keeps too many of us running around in circles. So in this episode, I'm going to help you get clear on what your health destination looks like. Not only do I want you to gain clarity about your destination, but also be honest about where you are starting from. You need to consider such things as your age, the type of condition you have and how long you've had it, your health history, and your mindset. Now, you don't have to have all the answers before you start. Just start to recognize them so that you can begin to identify the strategies, skills, tools, and support that you will need to get to your desired destination. And yes, it is okay to learn as you go. I don't want you to allow overthinking or analysis paralysis to keep you stuck, because sometimes we could just ruminate over and over in our minds what we need to do and end up doing nothing at all. Begin to get clear on your destination. Begin to get clear on who you are and where you are, and the rest will come. This journey will require your willingness to learn, to grow, to trust your intuition, and to trust the process. And once you're okay with that, the rest will fall into place. I promise you that. And I am confident that after this episode, you'll have so much more clarity and you'll begin to understand why you have struggled so much in the past. Now let's discuss the destination of health. Many of us strive to be healthy, but do we clearly understand what being healthy means? Health can mean different things to different people, but before you can comprehend where your journey will lead you, you must first understand what health is. Ask yourself, what does being healthy mean to me? I really want you to take a moment, press pause if you need to, and jot down a few ideas about what your current definition of health is. I'll wait. Review your definition. Did it focus on symptoms or general well-being? Did you focus on what you can or cannot do? Did you make it about lifestyle or physical activities? Now put your definition aside for a moment while I share a few definitions with you. Here's the first one. According to the World Health Organization, health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Here's another one. According to Merriam-Webster, health is the condition of being sound in mind, body, or spirit, especially freedom from physical disease or pain. The general condition of the body, a condition in which someone or something is thriving or doing well. Well-being, general condition or state. So what do you think of these definitions? How do they compare to yours? In my opinion, both of these definitions of health are more disease-focused and defines health as an absence of disease or the state of being free from illness and injury. So pretty much they are saying if you are symptom-free and disease-free, you're healthy. That is far from the truth. You cannot determine your health by the symptoms you have. Being symptom-free does not mean healthy. Let me repeat that. Being symptom-free does not mean healthy. I believe it's fair to say that the majority of us do or did believe that our health is based on our general well-being and the amount of symptoms we have. Listen, I can have a couple martinis to experience that condition of well-being. I can also use a slice of cheesecake to give me that sense of well-being as well. Does that mean I'm healthy? I'm using these examples to get my point across. Unfortunately, this is because our current healthcare system has taught us how to embrace this definition of health. It has been narrowed down to symptoms and physical appearance. It has taught us how to manage and live with our symptoms instead of understanding how to heal. Here's a common scenario. You get a headache, which is a symptom. You take an ibuprofen, and then the headache goes away. The ibuprofen wears off. The headache returns. You take another pill, and the cycle repeats itself over and over again. Is that health? Absolutely not. This is purely symptom suppression. Symptoms can be common, but they are not normal. And if you have any symptom, suppressed or not, it means your body is not functioning correctly. Your body is not coping with stress. Your body is breaking down. Don't suppress the headache. You need to figure out why you have the headache. Was it a food sensitivity, dehydration, malnutrition, lack of sleep? Healing occurs when you get to the underlying cause of your headache or any other condition. You need to uncover the imbalance and correct it, not ignore it or suppress it. You can even be unhealthy and have no apparent symptoms. In fact, there are usually no symptoms of the underlying disease of the blood vessels. A heart attack or stroke may be the first warning sign of underlying disease. Now let's take it a step further, because I find the origination of words very fascinating. The word health originates from the Old English hale, spelled H-A-L, and this root word is related to wholeness, a being whole, sound or well, entire, whole. Interesting, huh? Now, instead of wholeness, health has been reduced to quantifiable health metrics such as body mass index, cholesterol levels, blood pressure readings, and resting heart rate. We need to put the whole back in health. With wholeness, there is soundness of body and mind. We put more focus on avoiding the effects of escaping disease instead of promoting lifelong health. We'll take a blood pressure pill to avoid a heart attack, but won't change our toxic habits. We cannot keep relying on these medications to cover up our bad habits. Now, eating nourishing foods, seeking fresh air, drinking clean water, getting sufficient rest and exercise is now an inconvenience or a burden. Healthy decisions lead to a healthy life. Unhealthy decisions lead to an unhealthy life. Period. It's time to change the paradigm and get back to wholeness. That's what the Heal Deal is about. There is a true way to achieving the health you desire. There is a way to get healthy, to stay healthy, and to age gracefully. We just got to get back to obeying the natural laws. Disease is the result of violating these laws. Nourishing food, fresh air, clean water, rest, sleep, cleanliness, exercise, physical and mental soundness are all essential for a healthy life. Taking away one or more of these can lead to disease. We have also been conditioned to depend on others to look after our well-being. The majority of health systems fail to incorporate wholeness as well. They tend to adopt one or two elements such as diet and exercise and not addressing the rest. You cannot attain whole health by diet or exercise alone. It's time to redefine our definition of health. How we define health is extremely important because our definitions play a role in our actions and the choices we make. If you define health based on physical appearance, your solution may include cosmetic surgery, makeup, or excessive workouts. If you define health as being pain-free, your journey may include painkillers and muscle relaxers. But if your definition of health is about wholeness and being of sound mind and body, you will take more of a holistic lifestyle approach and addressing all areas of your life. So I want you to take this information I just shared with you and begin to rewrite your definition of health. Rewriting your definition is also the start of rewriting your story. This is part of your journey to healing. So go ahead, do your homework while this is fresh in your mind, and we'll continue our discussion next week. And until next time, go out there and achieve more freedom in your health and your life. Take care.